is I've washed these ones out, and I've just cleaned it with alcohol. And what I'm going to do is pour some resin in the bottom of them, and then that should protect the metal and let me put some pot plants in them. So the gloves I'm using are actually silicone gloves I got from Temu. Now, I would have to learn how to do the links. I will try and do that for you for these. I find them really good, but they can be a little bit cumbersome. But they're silicone and they do protect your hands, which is good. So today what I thought I would use the ultrasound, the platinum ultra clear with the uni base, and I'm working on about 300 mils just to start with. What I'm going to do with this one is a piece of an art project. I thought I might try and do a balloon, but I don't think that's going to work. So for 300 grams, I'm weighing it because one of the part A is heavier than part B. So for 300 grams, I may actually go 357. So that's 107 of part B, and it's a 2-to-1 resin, and it's platinum. So that's the ultra clear with the uni base. So I'll just show you there. I'll tear that to 0, and we'll put in 107 of part B. And I've just realised I was going to use my cup, but I'm a bit nervous because this is the first time I've done any filming. So what I'm going to do is swap this over because this will hold the weight, the amount, but this one won't. So I'm going to reset this to 0. This still should be 107. Now I need to scrape that out so I don't leave any unmixed resin in there. What I'm going to do is use a good old cake spatula because that will get everything out, hopefully. And then this should still weigh 107. And the chances are very high that I won't be editing because I'm just learning to do all of this. So what you see is what you get with me. Now that's 107. And then to 107, I'm going to take that up to 357 total. So the rest of it's going to be part A. And this one is a uni base. And that one you can mix with any part B. Now it says here, uni base part A with the correct platinum harder part B. Refer to the hardener part B for the mix ratio and the system properties. So I'm using it with the new ultra clear, and it says a 2-to-1 ratio. So I'm taking this up to 357. And that should be enough to cover the base and do what I want with it. That's 358, so that's close enough. And please, if you're doing resin, wear gloves, because some people are highly allergic. And if they're not allergic in the beginning, they can become allergic as time goes on. Now, I have the air conditioner on to push the fumes away from me because I do not have an air purifier at the moment. So the way I do that is I usually open up the garage. That's where I'm working, and I have the aircon on, blasting away to push those fumes away. But today in Queensland, Australia, it is raining and it's quite cold. So this has to be stirred for 3 to 5 minutes. I always like to do, say, 5, so I'm just putting the timer on. And I'm going to stir that. You can see my measuring, that measure is well used. I have been doing resin for nearly 2 years, but I've just decided to try my hand at videoing because it looks like it could be fun. Now I don't have a bubble remover either, but I've found that if I zap it with a little flame, it takes a lot of the bubbles out, and I'm not using clear today. I'll be colouring it, so it looks like a bit of an abstract piece. I chose this one because it's a 3 to 4 hour setup time. So by later tonight when I'm ready to go to bed, because it's 10 to 3 at the moment, by the time I'm ready to go to bed, this will probably be set. However, to let it fully cure, you should let it sit for about a month, which I will do out here in the garage before I put any heavy pot plants on it. But I've been meaning to do this now for quite a few months. I have done 3 inside, and that's worked quite well. I was testing my thoughts on that. So I will do these, and then any leftovers I might do a little character, or I'll work that out as I go. So you need to scrape the sides and the bottom. If you don't mix this well, it won't cure. Now resin over time will yellow. You can't do anything about it. That's what happens. So it won't matter with this because I'm colouring the resin, so it won't matter, you won't see the yellowing. But you can see the clear here has yellowed a bit, and that has not stopped the way it's going to perform. It just means that you're better to put colour in it so you don't see the yellowing. And that noise outside is a lovely big pothole that's developed outside our house. And any time something heavy goes past it, it bangs and frightens the living daylights out of me. So that is almost 4 minutes. I'm just going to stop you now. I'm going to put you on pause and I'll come back to you if I can get to you through these gloves, which is not going to happen. So I'm going to take the glove off. Great gloves, but bulky. And I'll be back in a minute. Is it? Oh, it is recording. It just went blank, and this is my son's phone, so I don't know whether it was recording or not. He's going to have to show me how to edit, I think. I'm not going to use those silicone ones, they're too hard to get off. I'll just put on my nitrile ones, a bit easier. And I think maybe we have to touch the screen every now and then. So back to where we were. Mixing this in, just scrape that off like that. I'll put about the same amount in there. Keep an eye out on whether that has stopped. I have to talk to him about that. Ugh, well, that's what you don't want, turning it upside down. So I'll just leave that way. This is probably going to be the same thing. Oh, it's not open. I'll go this one instead of the shimmer. The shimmer's not open. Now, this is a good example. Can you see how the oil has separated? If you don't mix that back in, you're not going to get a good colour in your resin. So you've got to mix it all back, and then I'll put about the same amount, about that much in there. Hopefully this has fallen back down. Now, seeing we have no shimmer now, I may change that blue and get a shimmery blue. I might go for that shimmery blue, which is also Timu. It's pretty good. So again, see that's, I've been using this one. I quite like the way this shimmer goes, but I'm going to put about maybe double that because it's a bit softer. Put that in there. Maybe again because I like the shimmer. And then the last one is the white. And this one, I can't get that lid off, so what we'll do is we'll go to ocean white. Instead of, this is going well for my first video. This one is, again, Timu. I'll just squeeze this. Now, if I can make these videos and this turns out okay, then I think anybody can. That's how I'm thinking anyway. There's something in there. Just put that one within, put that there, bring that up there so you can see. And I'll just put that much in. I'm going to put about that much in, probably need more. Now I'm going to stir them and we will see. Now the working time on this resin is, let me see, direction per May, mix the ratio, fix overheating. I'm serious, it doesn't say with that one. It's probably about 40 minutes. Pot life approximately 1 hour 10 minutes, depends on the weather. 2 hours with a full cure, that's this new ultra clear one that I'm using. You've probably got about 40 minutes, that's this new one. Probably got about 40 minutes. So there's no need to rush it. But I don't want it transparent, I want it opaque. Scrape off what's on your stick and then scrape the side. Now that is not going to be as opaque as I want, I don't think. And I'm beating it like a mad woman's breakfast. No, it might be. Okay, we'll leave it at that. I'm going to leave it and see, make sure that it is stirred and mixed properly. This is the purple. Looking at this, I'm thinking I may need more resin, but I was just going by what I've used before. Right, just move my chair out of the way so I can get in further, because I'm standing way back here. I'm leaning forward. And that's covering the stick really well, so that seems to be okay. The white. Now what I have found with this white, when using it with other things, is it doesn't always mix 100%, so you've got to be careful with this one. The other pigment, I just couldn't get the lid off it. But I am in my 70s, so I suppose I'm losing a bit of strength. Isn't it exciting? I'm starting a new venture in your 70s. I'm quite excited about it. It may go well, it may not, I don't know, but I'm going to give it a go. And if you really feel sorry for me, or you like what I'm putting up, please hit subscribe and share. Maybe leave a comment, but no nasty ones. I won't answer you if you're nasty. If you can't be edifying, don't say anything. And the green. That is a beautiful green. probably about between $6 and $8 if I remember correctly from Temu. And I've been using them for a while and I'm very happy with them. They hold their colour. They're nice and bright. They mix well. This is the sparkly one that I changed around because I didn't get the lid off the other one. This one may need more. It's looking like it might be a little bit transparent because it's mostly glitter. So, in order to counteract the transparency of this, I am actually going to put in some blue. I may put some of this in. I can get a bit without spreading it everywhere. Ah, good, it's gone back down. What I'll do is I'll mix it around here. I only want a little bit just to make it opaque. And I'll put that in with that. Like that. Just put that in there in case I need it. Mix that in. It'll keep the glitter in this. It'll just make it a little bit more transparent. A little bit more opaque. So you can still see that stick, so that's not good enough. I'll have to put some more in. Now this time, I will mix that because you can see the oil has separated a little bit. It's very thick pigment. Very thick. So I'm going to take a blob, about that, and scrape it on the side. Just leave that there. And then I actually started doing resin 2 years ago because I was trying to find something for my elderly mum to do when I was down visiting her. Look at an awful mess. And I came, and we were actually talking about her doing a YouTube channel for cake decorating because she, in her heyday, I mean she's 98 now, in her heyday she was a top cake decorator in Australia and did a lot of judging. And it's a pity that her knowledge is not going to be recorded. Anyway, I found a video on resin by another Australian Queensland girl called Julie Cuts, and that got me started. And I came home and I said to my husband, I'm just going to order a little bit just to try it. Don't worry, I'm not buying. And I've been hooked ever since. So we have all of these now ready to go. And what I'm going to do is just pour it in a random way. So it comes out a little bit. Oh, is that not stirred properly? Yeah, that's good. It'll come out a little, hopefully, like an abstract. Now, remember, if it doesn't really work out, it's a pot plant stand. And pot plants in our house have to be really hardy or plastic in order to survive. So, I'm going to just push that together like that and just any which way. And hopefully I have enough. I may have to mix up some more. I've done these in paintings before, and depending on how you mix them, they can look really stunning. This does not have to be very thick on the bottom. It just has to coat it to protect the metal from any water that might seep down. So if it's not terribly deep, it doesn't matter. And the thing is, resin moves on its own. So you may stir it, you may mix it around, you may do patterns, and then you come back tomorrow and it will be totally different. You could be disappointed or you could be surprised. I tend not to mix these around too much because I like to let the resin do its own thing. And we'll see how it comes out in the morning. I'm not going to have anything left to do other little things, but this will do. It is miserable weather at the moment, and so cold in Queensland. It means that it's snowing somewhere, because we're actually wearing jumpers at the moment, which we don't normally have to do very often up here. Last of this. Normally this would be, on a project, this would be the bottom and underneath would be the top, and the top can look quite different to the bottom, but this in my case today is going to be the top, because this is what we will see under the plant. This was just under 400 grams, and it's going to be enough for what I want. A little bit of white first. And put that in there like that. So this, I looked at this and I thought I can throw out these pot plant stands because they're going rusty, or I can save them before they rust all the way through, and I can protect the metal underneath. The sides of the metal, that's fine, it doesn't need protecting. The base did, and it was probably because it was getting water dipped on. So we'll just do that. I may give it a bit of a swirl, not sure yet. Sometimes you can get your heat gun out, sometimes you can get your hair dryer out just to move it around. Sometimes you can just do it with a stick. So at this point, now that's going to be enough because by the time it moves, at this point, look at my gloves, aren't they messy? I could rescue them or I could throw them. I'm going to throw them. It will take too much alcohol to clean those, so I'm going to discard those. I'm going to get my alcohol. It's just in a little spray bottle like this. I do buy it from an Australian company, and it's Bosco, I think. I shall link that as well, and I'm ready to order some more, and they send it. You can look, you can go down, here it is, here. This is an old bottle. That way, I think. It's an Australian company. They're really good. I ordered 3 of these about 18 months ago, and I'm using this for something else now, but I've probably still got a third of the last bottle, and it's so much cheaper than buying it from Bunnings, and it is 100% alcohol, not 90, not 99, but 100%. So now I'm just going to spray this. You can see how the alcohol disperses the pigment a little bit, but that's okay. It'll bring the bubbles up. I am not going to flame that now, otherwise they'll be calling the fire engine, which won't be good to explain. But what I will do is take one of these nets that I have moved around. I've just moved everything around in my garage here, so I have no idea where to put that. But I will find one of those cake nets, put it over so that flies don't land in it. I have had little flies or ants trekking across my wet resin. I need to die halfway across. Not good for the ant, not good for the resin. I hope you enjoyed that.